We do a little segment called Am I Doing It Right?
Okay.
Because these are the questions that we are all asking ourselves. It was like part of what inspired the show, that like we sort of walk around in the world looking, and you know this from we've both worked alongside celebrity for so long. And there's always this perception that like if I just have this much money, if I become famous, if I have this much success, I'll suddenly have it all figured out. And the truth is like no one ever does. We're all still asking if we're doing it right.
Yep.
So, what's one thing that you are actively working on right now?
I'm really trying to look at my fear of like hesitation, because there are some things that I'm wanting to start, or I have these ideas. And I used to be fearless. I don't know about you, but when I look back, like something has happened since becoming a mother. There's something, I also know astrologically, it's been part of my things. As Scorpios, fear has been like a real thing. And I feel this thing, like it's like get your shit together. And so I've really been looking at where I like want to do something, and then I'm like, but not yet, I'm not ready.
You want to be able to let that.
So I'm trying to let that go. I'm looking at, and first, instead of just being like, I'm going to do it anyway, I'm really sitting with like, what is that fear about? Like really unraveling it all, so that when I do it, it's, you know, I have my debt coming out, and that feels like part of what's like opening up possibilities. And I'm like, I can't be hiding the way I've been hiding.
What's one thing you're bad at and you're totally fine with the fact that you'll be bad at it forever?
I'm bad at everything visual, and I've learned this with the cards. Like they're like, what about this website? What about this thing? Or they'll be like, oh, this is. I'm always like, I defer to you. Like I really. There's beauty in it though, right? I'm like the writing, the channel. Ask me to write or channel or understand, or like, I'll do it all day long. But ask me to draw something, or like, it's disgusting.
But this is interesting because the cards are so visual.
And I worked with a designer, but I would literally talk my way and be like, it's kind of like this song. How does that make you feel? And like, it's sort of like when this happened, and then she would be like, I was like, I don't know how to make that into a picture. And then we would sit there, and then magic would happen and things, and she'd be like, what about this?
You're a designer.
Yes. And then we'd be like, oh my God, that's it. But I couldn't see, or she would draw something and show me, and I'd be like, oh, that's all wrong. Sorry. But this little part, advance on that. Like, she would have to see it for me. I'd just be like, so yeah.
Yeah, this is not how your brain works.
No, not third eye, no eye. Yeah.
Third eye, no eye.
Yeah.
When do you feel the most free?
When I travel. When I travel.
Yeah.
Like I just, even getting on the airplane, my body changes. It's like the fast movement and being in the air. Like I was probably a bird in a past life, you know, like I like love that like movement, and then obviously when you travel, all the things for all of us, right? It really forces you back into living more in the present, right?
When do you feel the sexiest?
I'm trying to get that back. I just took an erotic creatures class. It was the scariest thing. Talk about fear. I forced myself into that. But sexy, for me, sexy is also, it's a very similar plan that when I'm very present in the moment and like dancing, that is what brings it for me. Yes, that's why I've been going to.
You came to Stud Country on Monday night.
But do you know I had to be forced into it? Now I'm like, it's literally in my calendar for every Monday now to go see Serena and dance and learn how to dance, because I'm not very good at it. But it does it makes me feel good.
Yeah, I think dance is like that's when I feel the sexiest for sure.
I mean, you feel it. I look awkward. I'm like, oh, of course you feel sexy in that. You're really good.
But anybody can get to that. Anybody can get to that place. I assure you. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get you in your hips. We'll get you in your hips.
Okay.
What is what's your superpower?
Making people believe they can do the impossible. When I'm really in it.
And you feel like you do that via the cards?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
When I'm I don't know if I would say that's my superpower, but I would say I want that to be my superpower. I want, when that has happened or when that's reflected back to me, I'm like, that was like.
And have you seen that happen where it's actually galvanized somebody to go after something that they didn't think they were capable of?
Yeah, or I've had people say it to me. Like, I feel like my brother was the first person to say it, where he's like, you have this thing where every time I talk to you, I like hang up and I feel like I can do anything. And I was like, that's the greatest compliment. Like,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Your brother, who was a skeptic, right?
yes.
He's
Yes.
come around.
Still is. But yet, he's the skeptic that also, like, you know, when he worked at Business Insider, like, put me on, they did a piece on me.
Yeah.
Like, he talks about me but he also gets jealous. He'll be like, oh, my coworkers want you to come to the office.
He's a secret believer. He's just Midwestern.
That's exactly right.
It's a Midwestern
You know,
thing.
you
Sorry, we
got
love
him
the
perfectly.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some viewer questions. Oh, one last, am I doing it right? Something you long believed to be true and realized wasn't.
Ooh, something I long believed to be true. It has to do with, there's like a subtle take on this, but there's something about, I've always been such a worker, and this has been a slight unraveling, but like, I just have been like, I make things happen.
Yeah.
And I think this is, you know, we kind of all are realizing, but I'm like, oh, I allow things to happen. And like, for so long, I was like, no, I make it happen. And the more that I like push against that and like allow things to happen, it's like so much better than making it happen. Like how it, you know.
Yeah. Right. Don't chase. Attract.
Yeah.
Let things gravitate
Yeah.
toward you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
as
a tough
simple as
lesson to
like,
learn.
yeah.